everyone, welcome back. Today we are doing a Pan That palette update. So I'm really excited with the progress I've made. I have some pan percentage updates for you. So let's go ahead and dive in. This year I am panning the single eyeshadows from my different ColourPop palettes. So I think it was 2 years ago. I'd gone through all my ColourPop palettes, pulled out just the shades that I wanted to keep, and then that is how this palette was kind of born. So I'm working through this one. I have been very consistent with the eye look I've been using pretty much all summer, and I'm really starting to see some good progress there. So let's do a side-by-side comparison first, and then we can talk about the numbers and all of that. So this is what the palette is currently looking like. So I'm really happy with the progress on this shade down here. This is my lid shade, and it is getting very thin around the outer ring. So let's talk about some usage. I'm gonna go kind of down the order that I put the shadows on. So the first one is top down here. This one, the pan has been expanding very beautifully. This is the first shade I put down kind of as my transition. And this one, last time I had 62 uses, now I have 83 uses. So I used it 21 times in the past month, which is really good for me. Again, we're transitioning into cooler weather, so I'm starting to wear makeup more regularly. In the summer, I kind of am a little bit lighter, I would say. So I'm getting back into that routine. Then the shade right below it here is the next shade I use. This one is called Hustler. Last time I had 61 uses, now I have 81, so I used it 20 times. No pan in here yet. I don't really think I'm all that close to it either. I'm pretty light-handed, and the ColourPop matte shades are pretty densely packed, so probably won't see pan there. And then the bottom one here, this brown, I kind of use lightly on the outer third. Again, still in my crease, but just to add a little bit more depth to my eye look. So this one is called Hot Gossip. This one I had 55 uses on last time. Now I have 75 uses. So I kind of do this row of mattes here, and then I go in with the lid shade. And I think I'm just going to pop this one out and we can really look at it. So I have made really good progress here. You can see that it's really just around the sides. So I really want to finish this one all the way up, and I'm going to be working hard to do that. I think the overall kind of assessment I would say with this one is the more I use it, the more kind of like crumbly it gets a little bit. So I'll dip my brush in and it'll crumble, and that's what I'll use like in the middle of the pan. And so I'm kind of just going around. I really would like to maybe kind of keep working around it so it doesn't, you know, break off into one quite yet, where you see side pan, but we'll see how it progresses. So yeah, very exciting there. This one, like I said, is called the Talk. Maybe I didn't say that. It's called the Talk. Last time I had 62 uses, now I have 84. So I used it 22 times, and yeah, I'm really happy with the progress. The only other shade that I've used in here is the one right next to it, this one here, which has pan on it. This one's called Designer Duds. I used it twice. It's kind of a little bit of a deeper peach shade. I used it once on my lower lash line and once kind of on the outer third of my lid, just to add a little bit of depth. So I might sprinkle that in a little bit more this fall, but my priority is to finish this shade all the way up. And then once I do that, I will probably experiment with maybe a different go-to eye look, because I've been using the same one for quite a while, but I would really like to see this one all the way done. And I'm kind of thinking going to this kind of like golden shimmer for the lid, but we'll just see where we go from there. So that is the progress there. No new pans, didn't finish anything, but definitely getting closer. I do have a new pan in a single eyeshadow though, of course. This is the Wet n Wild Brulee. No surprises. I go through a couple of these each year. So I did hit pan on this one. You can see it there with just a little speck, but this will go really fast for me. I use this every day before I put on any other eyeshadow. I use to kind of set my primer and to smooth out the lid. So this will go pretty quick for me, but we can mark it in my tracker. So let's do that first, and then we can talk about, I also decluttered some eyeshadows, so that has impacted my percentages and all that too. let me grab my marker. So what I do is when I hit pan on something, I do a dashed line, and then when I finish it all the way, I color it in, or when I declutter it. So I have brulee down here. I'm going to do a dashed line for this one, and then we'll talk about the blacked out ones. So there we go. Very exciting. So I do have some blacked out items here. That means that I've decluttered them. So I've decluttered 3 pallets. I recently, with my husband, moved from the lake down to the city. And during that, I decided to do a declutter before I packed. And I got rid of 3 pallets. So I got rid of the ABH Norvina palette. It just wasn't it for me. You know, it was really pretty to look at, but the shades I felt like were all just too deep for my fair complexion, and it was always something I kind of like fought with, so I just decided we were done with that. Juvia's Place Nudes palette. I recently got a couple of nude eyeshadow palettes from Japan when we were there, and I like the formula better, so I'm keeping those over that one. And then I also decluttered the Natasha Denona Mini Retro. In that one, I had had for a number of years. I had a couple of pans on it, but didn't really need it anymore. Wasn't going to reach for it. So I have 3 kind of blacked out areas, and that's why. So let's talk about what that meant for my pan percentage. So at my last update, before the declutter and all of that good stuff, I had 16 pans with a total of 106 eyeshadows. So it was 15.09%. Then I decluttered the Norvina, the Juvia's, and the Mini Retro. Oh, and I also got rid of a ColourPop single eyeshadow frog. I don't like the consistency of those Super Shocks. After a while, they kind of dry out, and that was no longer going to be used. So I decluttered that as well. So I dropped from 106 total eyeshadows to 81 eyeshadows. So that was, a big jump. And then I also dropped from 16 pans to 11 pans. So in that decluttering, I decluttered 5 pans. So now that left me at 11 out of 81, which was 13.58%. And then I hit pan on Brulee, which brought me up to 12 pans out of 81, which is 14.81%. So I previously was at 15.09, now I'm at 14.8. Not that much of a change, to be honest. It all kind of evens out, but I'm really happy with the changes I made, and I'm feeling re-energized to actually use the things that I have left in my collection. So that's pretty good, and feels exciting as well. So that's the pan percentage update I wanted to make sure we talk through. And yeah, as far as goals go, I'm just going to be working on to finish that shimmer shade. I would love to have it done by the end of October. I don't think it's going to be done in 1 month, but I feel like if I can be really consistent, it's possible to get done in 2 months. So we'll see how we get on. I'll let you know. I'll be, of course, still doing these updates. So yeah, that's what I have for you today. Hope you have enjoyed. Let me know where you are at with your eyeshadow panning. I think at the end of the year, when I'm done working through this palette, we'll have a pretty hard look at which singles I want to keep. I think that for me, palettes are the way to go. I love that I was able to kind of save these singles from the ColourPop palettes and pare them down to just what I will use, but there's still a lot in here that I haven't really touched. And so I think that there's, even more I could get rid of. So we'll do that at the end of the year. We're not going to make any crazy decisions right now, but I do think that this will minimize even further. So that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.